Hey everyone, Jessica Michaels here with another layout for you for the Shimmerz Paints design team. I'm actually working in my travel notebook today featuring all of my camping adventures, and I decided to pull out a brayer today. So I wanted something super easy, fast, and just simple today. So I wanted to create a background here, so I'm just using 3 different colors of some Shimmerz products, which I have the bottom green one, that darker green, is called Keep Palm. It's in a Coloringz, so it's going to be a little bit more pigmented than most of the other products. Then I have 2 different vibes. One is Love Ocean number 9, which is one of my favorites. That's the middle one. And then I Missed You is the one up top. So I just used my brayer, spritzed a little bit onto my glass mat, and then just kind of smushed it across my pages. I wanted it to kind of flow throughout both of my pages here, so it would go the whole way across the spread on both pages, and then I could put some photos on the right side where it's a little bit heavier. And then I'm just undoing the nozzles here and just flicking on some splatters just to kind of break up that paint a little bit and the color. And then here, as you can see, my favorite gold splatter, this is Minor 49er in an Inklingz product, is almost completely empty. I have been just getting it down to the bare nothing there in the pot and using up every last drop. So I'm just I added a little bit of water to reactivate that Inklingz product and get it to that splattering texture. Same with some white acrylic paint here. Just add a little bit of water so it creates a nice consistency to be able to splatter with a paintbrush. So I just add a little bit of water. You don't need a lot, just enough to thin it out a little bit so it doesn't stick to your paintbrush. I've got my manual die cutting machine out now at this point. I'm going to go ahead and cut a couple photos down into some circle shapes so that I can scatter these 2 photos across my layout. And I really was going with like a circle vibe on this one. And I have a stamp set here that I'll show you in a minute from Studio Calico that I'm going to be using that has just a whole bunch of circle kind of adventure themed stamps. So I'm going to be using those and sticking with a circle feel for this one. So I just used my mixed media as my anchor point. I did not gesso those pages, as you can see. I was not adding a ton of liquid mediums to this one and doing a lot of layering, so I didn't really need to add gesso. It was very controlled, and I didn't need to blend my colors together other than using the brayer a little bit to blend them. So that's why I didn't start with gesso like I normally would. Now, normally if I'm using a lot of different colors or I am physically picking up my paper to blend the colors together, I will definitely use gesso first, and it also helps prep your paper to hold up to those wet mediums and not warp your paper so bad. But since this was pretty dry and it wasn't super wet when I put it on, because I was using that brayer, so I created some thin layers and they dried really fast, then I didn't really have any warping with my paper to worry about, so I didn't need the gesso on this one. And then I've added all my splattering on top. I've got an acrylic piece that I'm stash busting today from Brown Fox. It just says Rome. And then I pulled out this cute little hike sticker with the mountains on it. That was just a little sticker pack that I got from Amazon. I think one of my kids had like a party or something, and I had given out stickers, and I had a few that I had saved for myself here, of course, to use on all of my cute little creations. And that was just a random sticker that I had. And then I'm also pulling out Bella Boulevard has a new collection called Adventure Awaits, and it's very kind of outdoorsy themed, and it's perfect for all of my hiking adventures. So I've pulled out some little die cut pieces and the sticker sheet from that collection that I've just scattered a couple of the phrases from that sticker sheet underneath my Rome title. And then here are those stamps that I was telling you about from Studio Calico, that they just have a lot of cute little travel-y kind of like exploring adventure stamps that are in those circle shapes. They've got a couple little designs, different designs on them. So I'm just using those as kind of like, this is like what's driving my layout, I guess. I'm just using that circle theme. Notice that my mixed media is a lot heavier on that right side because I knew that's where I wanted the main activity to be going on over there. and I wanted to put my photos over there. So I wanted a nice strong background to hold everything. And then I'm just using these little circles, kind of like ephemera or little die cuts. So I'm just creating a bunch of stamped images, keeping with just a black and white simple theme on these because I have so much color in my background. I like to kind of mute it out with just use black stamping when I'm stamping on a lot of different color. Though sometimes I will go in with other colors. It just depends on what I'm doing and what my mood is. But for this particular one, I wanted to keep the embellishments rather simple, but you know that I'm a more is more kind of girl, so I'm always adding a ton of stuff to my projects. So I do have to go through this little die cut pack and choose a couple little goodies from here, like this adorable little raccoon that I absolutely love. I need like 10 of these little raccoons because they're just so stinking cute. And I think that's the only critter that I use from this ephemera pack. I did pull out that large flower, but I end up not using it on here. Instead, I'm going to use a couple of those cute little stars, and then I'm going to grab some of the epoxy stickers from this collection, scatter some of those, and just kind of work in all of these stamps. So I'm just using various circle punches and also my die cutting machine with some circle dies. And then I'm just cutting out, kind of just using what I have. I don't have the exact sizes of circles that I need here. I feel like I need a 3/4 inch circle punch. So I'm going to add that to my next list if I can find one, because it seems like I'm always looking for that particular size. And I have one in 1/2 inch, I have one in 1 inch, 1.5, but I don't have 3/4. And it does make a big difference because I don't like a huge white outline around my stamps like this. I like them to be kind of tight, but still have a little bit of a white outline. That way it just looks like a die cut. So I feel like I really need that 3/4 inch size. But here I am just sticking down these circle elements at this point. I'm just going to use some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to glue these in place. I'm going to place this little raccoon guy down because I know that's where he's going to live. And this cute little flower is going to be his friend. And then I'm going to adhere a couple little stars over near this little cluster as well, along with my Rome title. I'm just using my magnet. That stripe thing there, that little bar that I just placed down, is a magnet that adheres to my glass board. My glass board is from Glassboard Studio. There is a link in my description if you guys are interested in one for yourself. But I purchased the white glitter mat and the Stars and Stripes magnets, and they come in handy so much. I didn't think originally that I would ever use the magnets, so I did order a set, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to use them. But since then, I have ordered this other set, this Stars and Stripes set that I just got, because I find myself using them for so many things. It's really nice to just be able to free up your hands, because that is holding that acrylic piece down until it dries, and then I can move it and I don't have to sit there and hold it myself. And then I can just kind of go on with my life and continue working on the rest of the layout. So I'm just scattering those circle stamped elements there. I did grab another stamp set from Studio Calico because there's one in this set too that I want to use on this layout as well. I've got my hike little mountain sticker adhered on there, my circle photos. My photos are of a hike that we went on. It's one of our frequent hikes that we tend to do every time we camp at this particular campground. And it's just like a loop trail that goes pretty much up the mountain, down the mountain, and then back up the mountain and back down the mountain again. It's very hilly. You're kind of going through the gorge and across a creek that has this cute little bridge here. And it is a little bit of a trek, but it's not very long. So we get it done in, I think, about half an hour. It doesn't really take us that long, but the kids really enjoy it. It tends to tucker them out pretty fast. So it's some activity, some movement for us, something to do, and the sights are pretty good too. So I have my photos here of my dog and my son that I've used on this, and then just scattering all the little bits and pieces. I decided to grab one of the pattern papers from that Bella collection and just fussy cut out some elements to stagger in here, because most of the other die cuts are too big for me to use on these smaller notebook pages on this particular one. So I went ahead and just fussy cut a few of them out of that pattern paper to use instead. And then I've got these little epoxy stickers. I'm just going to add a couple trees up here, and that's going to finish this one off. So this one's good to go. It's going in my book now. Here's what the finished spread looks like. Absolutely love how this one came together. Had so much fun on this one, and it came together so quickly. I hope I inspired you guys to create something today and try out some Shimmerz paints. I've got my link down below for the website for you, and my code is Jessica in the notes section of your order. If you do place an order, you'll get a free gift. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being here and all your sweet comments. Have a great day. Bye-bye.